Hey everyone, welcome back to the Earthy Goodness Kitchen. Today we're making a delicious creamy peanut stew. It's got a lovely rich and comforting peanut and tomato sauce, and it's full of fragrant spices. Peanut stew originates from Africa and there are many variations, but today we're of course making a plant-based version with chickpeas and roast peppers. So let's get cooking. First we're going to start with some mise en place and slice the peppers. Best way to do this is to take the top and the bottom off, and then we're just going to slice down the side, insert your knife, and slide along the pepper, removing all the seeds and any white parts like so. Then just slice your pepper. I'm not going to go too thin or else they're just going to sort of disintegrate, and I want to have a bit of texture in the stew. Then just air fry or roast with a little olive oil, salt and pepper. Massage this in so that all the bits of pepper are well seasoned. This stew has quite a sweet flavour from the tomatoes, the coconut and the peanut butter, so I prefer to use green peppers which have a slight bitter note, which works really well with the other ingredients. Next, thinly slice 2 white onions, or red if that's what you have. Then a small handful of fresh coriander, or another herb like parsley or chives if you've got the soapy coriander gene. We're just going to scrunch it up nice and tight and then finely chop it. For the garlic, just crush to remove the skin, and then we're going to thinly slice it as well. We're adding a decent bit of ginger to the stew as it goes really well with the peanut butter and the coconut. You can leave the skin on and then just finely chop it. Here I'm using the cross chop method to get it nice and fine. Last bit of mise en place is the fresh green chili. I don't have a great chili tolerance, so I'm only using about 1/3 of a green chili, and we're just going to finely slice it. Now to start the cooking, heat a decent glug of olive oil in a heavy base saucepan over a medium heat. If you want to go oil free, then feel free to just use some water here. Add in the sliced garlic and let that sizzle for about 30 to 60 seconds to infuse the oil with its aroma, and then we're going to add in the sliced onions with a nice pinch of sea salt. As always, we'll be seasoning the dish from the beginning and also throughout the cooking, so we don't have to dump in a load of salt at the end. After about 8 to 10 minutes, the onions should look something like this, and we can add in the chili and the ginger. For spices, I'm going to be using ground coriander, ground cumin and some smoked paprika. My preference is the sweet version, but feel free to use a spicy one if you like a bit of heat. Once you've toasted off the spices, add a couple tablespoons of tomato puree and cook it out for about 1 to 2 minutes to get rid of the sort of bitter flavour and bring out the sweetness of the tomato. Then add in 1 can of coconut milk followed by a can of chopped tomatoes. As always, make sure to wash out the can with some water. You can use smooth or crunchy peanut butter. Personally, I prefer crunchy to have a bit of texture in there, or you can even use almond butter, but it will taste slightly different. Now just try to resist eating the peanut butter before adding it to the stew. Stir everything together and then add in your chickpeas. Feel free to use another bean such as butter beans or kidney beans, it's totally up to you. Bring this to a boil and simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it's thick and creamy. Season with pepper and more salt if needed, and then we're going to add in our beautifully roasted green peppers. We're also going to add a good handful of fresh coriander, keeping some back for garnish, and then a nice squeeze of lime juice to help cut through the creaminess of the stew. So there is your stew ready to go. I like to serve it with a carbohydrate and some greens, so I'm going to go for some nice lightly spiced fluffy rice. Into a heavy base saucepan, add a teaspoon of oil, followed by the washed white rice. Then a nice grating of nutmeg, a little bit of turmeric for colour, and some ground coriander. Stir well to coat all the rice in those beautiful spices. We're then going to add in some water or vegetable stock. I tend to do a ratio of 1 part rice to 1.5 part water, and it always works perfectly. Pop a lid on and cook for around 12 to 15 minutes, or until you see these holes coming through, which shows all the liquid has been absorbed. Then pop a tea towel on top and let it steam and finish cooking. And finally, you can fluff it up with a fork, and that is ready to go. Another delicious side to this stew is some coconut spinach. Simply heat up a frying pan over a medium heat with no oil, add in your coconut and a few cumin seeds, and gently fry until golden brown. Make sure to keep stirring or tossing, as it will turn from brown to burnt very quickly. Once brown, add in a little olive oil, followed by the spinach, and keep turning to wilt the spinach, seasoning with salt and pepper. You could also finish it with a squeeze of lime if you wanted to. And there is your nutty coconut and cumin spinach, really tasty, and it's going to go perfectly with this stew. Now just serve up your peanut stew with a fluffy golden rice, coconut spinach, and a wedge of lime. I love serving this in summer, as where some curries can be a little bit heavy, this one with the lime, the coriander, and the coconut is quite light and not too heavily spiced, so perfect for when it's a bit hotter. Now another delicious thing that you can serve with this stew is these sweet potato waffles I made recently. I'll link to the video recipe in the top right of this video. So good. Really indulgent. You seriously have to try this. It's creamy, it's indulgent, it's got lovely spices going through it, and it's a real treat dinner. So definitely give it a go and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching today. To get the sweet potato waffle recipe, check out this video.